Back to Automotive Chaos. Today we're going to be attempting to fix the fuel tank for my 56 Chevy. So I picked this tank up on Facebook Marketplace for the everyday low price of free. It was originally $50, and when I went to go pick it up, the guy who ended up giving it to me apologized, but there were a couple pinholes in the bottom of the tank. No big deal. He was nice enough about it. He was upfront, honest, ended up giving me the tank. So in the effort of continuing to save money on this project, we're going to see if we can fix the holes, boil this out, and seal it so it can ultimately wind up in our car. Now, before I start cleaning this thing out, I really want to see if I can just mend the holes on the bottom of this tank before we go any further and I potentially waste too much time trying to fix this thing. But I'll give you a sneak peek of what's probably in there. Just have a listen. Yeah, it doesn't smell like gas. I have a feeling it's dirt and flaking rust. So that should be fine. So I've been able to locate 3 holes on the bottom of this tank. One is obviously right there. Second one is there. And the third one, very, very hard, even for me to see, but right near my index finger there. So what I'm going to do first is take a soft grinding wheel. We're going to clean this metal up, get it back to bare metal, and then we're going to attempt to fix this with a soldering iron. That's right, I said it, a soldering iron. All right, so I'm going to use this bristle wheel. These are made by 3M. These are really, really good. I use these actually on the fenders of the front of this car. If you had to get into a space that has like a body line or a curvature, these do a really good job at kind of conforming to that bend. Do a really good job of stripping paint, and they're also not too abrasive where you'll start to remove metal. So clean up these 3 spots, and then we can get to work. Now, generally, the obvious choice for fixing metal like this is to weld it. But because this is a gas tank, even though it has not seen any fuel in it for quite some time, I don't want to run the risk of blowing myself up. Now, I've seen people that have recommended running an exhaust pipe into the tank. Basically, you fill the tank with CO2, and then it's safe to weld. I've seen other people recommend putting dry ice in there and then welding. In theory, both of those work, but I have a good friend. You guys might know him. His name is Murphy, and he has this law, and I generally abide by that law because if it can go wrong, it's going to go wrong for me. So we are going to do this as safely as possible, and hopefully try and avoid any fires or anything like that. So I'm going to start out with a little bit of soldering paste. All right, we're just going to put it around all of the problem areas, and then we will see if this Home Depot soldering iron will do the trick. All right, so we got the first hole patched up. I'll knock that down with the sander a little bit, clean it up, make sure that there aren't any pinholes, and then we can move on to the other 2. Now, obviously with this, this tank is going to get cleaned out. So once we fill it with water and the cleaning solution that I have, we'll know if there are any other holes on the bottom of this tank. But for now, I just want to focus on the ones that I can see. So we'll clean that one up and we'll move on to the next one. All right, I'm going to touch these surfaces up a little bit, and we'll see what we're left with. So that one looks pretty good. This one here might have a small pinhole or crack. And then the last one up here looks good as well. So I'm going to clean that off. We'll reapply some flux, dip a little more solder in there, and then we'll pull the sending unit out of this thing, see how bad it is in there, and see if we can't clean this thing out. Well, I just went 10 rounds with this sending unit trying to get the screws out, and I eventually got it. Not in the best shape. But now we're going to turn this thing upside down and treat it like a piñata and see what we can get to come out. I'm going to see, I stuck a light through the filler tube, but get a pretty good idea what kind of shape this tank is in on the inside. Still a couple things I have to fish out. One of them being the ring on the inside. I thought the tank was threaded, but apparently there's a ring on the inside that the sending unit actually attaches to, and that fell off. So we're going to have to address that. But I want to try and fish all that stuff out of the bottom. Maybe I'll try and snake the vacuum in there too. And then we can fill this with some warm water and some cleaner and see if we can't get this back to looking like a fuel tank. So this is what I was able to shake out of the tank. And the next thing that we're going to do is focus on the outside. So I want to knock all of this surface rust down to bare metal. I'll end up painting it after we do the tank sealer, but I would prefer to get as much of the work done that's going to cause dust or anything like that out of the way now. This way, when we rinse the tank and ultimately seal it, hopefully we won't introduce any more foreign material in there. So I'll clean this up, degrease some of the edges a little bit, and then I think it's time to start pouring the cleaner in. So last thing I'm doing is just taking some acetone and the Brillo side of a sponge, knock some of the heavier stuff off. Really, as long as it doesn't look like an eyesore underneath the car and doesn't leak, that's all we're looking for. We'll give this thing another thorough wipe down before we paint it, but for now, at least the heavier stuff has been knocked off. All the surface rust has been knocked off. So I think next step is going to be probably pour the cleaner in, and I'm going to boil some water actually, and we'll seal up everything that we can and check for leaks and start cleaning this out. Now, to clean and prep the inside of this tank, I ordered this kit off of Amazon from KBS. And this comes with a cleaner, a primer, and a tank sealer. So first step is to shake the cleaner really well. We're going to dump the entire contents of this into the tank. I'm going to go inside, boil a pot of water. You're supposed to dilute this 1-to-1. Pour some hot water in there. Maybe some nuts and bolts to help agitate whatever's in there still. And then we really just have to shake that thing around and get that stuff pretty much in all the crevices in there. All right, so now with our hot water mixed along with our cleaner, it's time to shake this thing up, and then we'll probably put it back on the soul horses and make sure that those pinholes that we fixed earlier with the soldering iron are holding. Kind of hard to see, but solution is in there. Everything's resting on the bottom, and I don't see anything dripping on the floor. So looks like our soldering iron trick worked. Tank is sealed up. Let this sit for a little bit. I'll shake it around some more, drain it out in a little bit, and see what it looks like inside. Move on to the next step. And that's what came out of the tank. So probably a little difficult to see inside of there. But all of that flaking rust. All that loose sediment that was in there is now gone. You can see we cleaned a good amount of dirt and debris out of there as well based on what was in the water. So next step is going to be to rinse that cleaner out. We'll bring it back in here, dry everything, and then we can go ahead and pour our rust converter in. So I have the hose hooked up outside from my kitchen sink because I have the water shut off outside, way too cold to run the hose. But I'll fill this with warm water, rinse that out, bring it back in here, dry everything, and then on to the next step. Okay, got the tank rinsed out. Actually let it sit on top of the heater for a little while. Blew it out with compressed air, vacuum, whole nine. So looks pretty dry in there. So next thing I'm going to do is shake this stuff up. This is the pre-paint primer. This should eliminate the majority of the rust. This has to sit in there and get moved around for, it says about a half an hour. So I'm going to do that, make sure that the entire inside of the tank is coated with this. Once that's done, we'll rinse it again, do the same procedure to dry everything out, and then our tank sealer can go in. When I rinsed this thing, I had this filled up all the way with water to the point that it was flowing out of the filler neck hole. Checked all of our spots that we soldered up earlier. Everything still looked good there, no leaks, so might be able to save this thing. Let this sit for a little bit. I'll move it around to make sure that every part of the tank gets coated, and then once that's done, we can rinse this out as well. All right, rust treatment is out of the tank. Can't really get the light in there for you to see very well. It definitely looks a lot better. There is still some surface rust inside the tank, but as per their instructions, the tank sealer is designed to be able to adhere to a rusty surface. The major thing is getting it cleaned out, which we did, and then treating it with that rust preventative that we just poured in there. So hopefully we're in good shape here. If not, it's not really the end of the world. The tank was free. I think we'll be in good shape though. The biggest thing is that we do not have any leaks. That was what I was most concerned with. So that soldering iron trick worked, which I'm really happy about. So I think we'll be all right. I am going to take this back outside, give this another thorough rinse. Then we'll come back in, let it dry, then we can pour the tank sealer in. All right, so we got the tank rinsed out after the rust treatment. To speed up the drying process, I just taped my shop vac hose onto the fill neck, and we have it on blower right now, so you can hear. So let that sit for a little bit while. I got it close to the heater as well, so hopefully those two working together, we should have this thing dry in a little bit and we can put our sealer in. So with our tank finally dried and treated for rust, last step is going to be our tank sealer. So we're going to open this can, pour it in. I'm going to tape up the hole for the sending unit, and then we're going to basically just move this tank around with this stuff in there. Make sure that this coats the entire inside of the tank. Once that's done, we're going to put it over that bucket, let everything drain, let it dry, and we should be in business. So let's see what happens. All right, so this has been sitting for about, well, not sitting, but I've been rotating it for about half an hour now. So now we're going to tip this over our bucket, let all of the excess flow out. Basically, once that stops dripping, we can set this off to the side and allow that to dry up. All right, so I have a light shining through the filler neck, so you can kind of see but we got pretty good coverage on the entire tank. All the sides, all the seams, more importantly, those pinholes that we closed up before. So I'm pretty confident that we'll have a leak-free gas tank. Looks much better in there. We are going to paint the outside of this tank, as well as install a new sending unit. But I'm going to wait till it's a little bit warmer out so I can actually paint this thing. I don't want to do it black either. I think the factory tanks in these cars were gray, possibly. Could be wrong. But either way, we'll degrease the outside a little bit more. I know I did it initially when we were working on the tank before, but we'll give this thing a thorough cleaning. I want to pressure wash the outside. And yeah, we should have a good leak-free tank for this car. So it's going to be a little while before this actually goes in the car. The 56 Chevy that this is for is probably going to get put outside for a little bit and covered. I have to bring my Camaro back here, so we're going to be doing some work on that. 56 is going to sit for the winter until we can paint it in the springtime, and then hopefully reassemble and get it running. But that is going to do it for this one. Thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you got something out of it. I guess we'll know in a couple months whether or not those fixes that we made are going to hold, but I'm pretty confident that they will. So thank you guys again, and we'll see you very soon.